Center for Peace and Human Rights, Renee Vaugeois, Executive Director, and Chelsea Freeborn, Children's Rights Program Manager, presenting Imagine a Dream, accompanied by cellist Connor Meeker, who's a grade 11 student at the Victoria School of the Arts.
Imagine a world where there would be no need for an Arab Spring, because what they fight for already exists. It's easy if you try. With the power of young people harnessed and political leaders valuing the well-being and democracy of their citizens above all else, you may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
I have a dream that one day we can save the 800 women that die from preventable causes in pregnancy and childbirth in the world today, and that we work together collectively to address solutions around maternal mortality, and that the solutions that we have for women in our country are the same for women around the world. I have a dream today.
Imagine there's no global inequality. It isn't hard to do. That we, the 99%, determine the fate of large transnational corporations and the global financial system by valuing our local consumer dollars and questioning who and what we support. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one.
I have a dream that one day a specific race or lifestyle will not define our conversations about HIV and AIDS. That we truly recognize that AIDS is not just a health crisis, it is causing an orphan crisis in many countries around the world that has long-term effects on children, societies, and the world. I have a dream today.
Imagine a world with no fear or hate of religion. I wonder if you can. That multi-faithism is celebrated. That tragedies like the Wisconsin Sikh temple shooting do not occur, or are not just explained away as some confusion between faiths. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
I have a dream that one day all Canadians will have access to clean drinking water. That we recognize in our country alone, there are roughly 1,000 boil water advisories announced each day. That we realize that we have schools shut down, such as the Lubicon Lake Indian Nation in northern Alberta, due to a lack of access to water. And we should be joining together in agreement that this is not okay.
Imagine there's no voter apathy. It's easy if you try. That we value our democratic rights and voices, know that these voices really matter, and realize that with the same rights come responsibility to each other, the city, province, and country. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one.
I have a dream that one day stewardship of our land takes precedence over our desire to control, develop, and exploit. That we live in harmony with the land, see its inherent value and equality, and view humans as one species of many, where the traditions of Alberta's First Nations people are valued and we respect the sacredness of the land. I have a dream today.
Imagine a world where mental health is approached with compassion and not judgment. It isn't hard to do. That we value our well-being, and whether we live with depression, anxiety, we feel confident that we can reach out for help and support with no stigma or fear of judgment. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
I have a dream that one day we as a society hold our seniors in such high regard that elder abuse becomes a thing of the past. That we love and protect our elders from being taken advantage of financially, emotionally, physically, and that we do everything that we can to ensure that their healthcare needs are met, especially with our growing aging population. I have a dream today.
Imagine sexual orientation no longer being an identity for others to hate. I wonder if you can. That we can all walk through Edmonton streets, schools, and communities with no fear for our safety and are treated with dignity everywhere. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one.
I have a dream that one day ableism, policies, actions, and attitudes that favor the able-bodied will no longer exist. That we embrace people experiencing disabilities in our community rather than segregating them. In our classrooms, in our workplaces, in our living spaces. I hope for the day that one day living with people with disabilities is normalized.
Imagine a world where Aboriginal women no longer go missing or are found murdered. It's easy if you try. That we realize all women deserve to be safe in Canada, and that all women are valued regardless of culture or background. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
I have a dream that one day we treasure the children in our society, both our own and those in foster care, that we recognize foster children are not just a problem for our government to solve, and that we all have a responsibility in this issue, that we do not hear stories of children dying in care in Alberta. We must come together as a community to raise children for our future. I have a dream today.
Imagine there's no other city quite like Edmonton, a truly human rights city. It isn't hard to do. That Edmonton is where we come together to address issues and celebrate successes collectively. A city that greets strangers, visitors, newcomers, and old-timers on the street with sincerity and warmth. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one.
At the John Humphrey Centre for Peace and Human Rights, our Circle Alberta program encourages mutual learning and healing between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people. This helps us to understand how our colonial history has impacted how we are structured today and can learn to truly find kindness and empathy with one another. We work to challenge misconceptions and stereotypes, many of which are not based in reality.
In our Children's Right to Participate project, we partner with schools to help children understand active and responsible citizenship. We work with students to address issues that concern them in their school, community, country, and world. We base our work on the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child and encourage children to breathe life into words on a page and affect every single one of them.
One of our more interactive programs, Rights in the Sun, is where we make human rights learning fun with games and activities that help tie what is learned into everyday life with youth. We aim to create a community where we all belong and we all have our own inherent dignity and we all live together in harmony. And we live up to our commitments as Edmonton being a UNICEF designated child-friendly city.
The Global Youth Assembly is a 4-day conference that brings hundreds of youth to Edmonton from across Canada and around the world to learn, discuss, reflect, and collaborate on important human rights issues at the local and global levels. It's about engaging youth who represent the fabric of our society and foster connections that help them realize change in their communities.
This is what we believe.
This is what we do.
We are the John Humphrey Centre for Peace and Human Rights.